this module, we will examine the specific NCC design requirements for sound and acoustic performance. In this presentation, we will cover the NCC requirement for acoustic performance, both the airborne sound requirements and impact sound requirements. The NCC terminology will also be examined, as well as the NCC minimum performance requirements for the different types of rooms found in a typical mid-rise building. Section F, Part 5 of the NCC deals with sound transmission and insulation. The NCC performance requirements for Class 2 and 3 buildings focus on limiting the transition of both airborne and impact-generated sound through the floor and wall building elements between adjoining sole occupancy units, or SOUs, SOUs from a common space such as a public corridor, for example, or SOUs from another building classification within the building. In interpreting the NCC requirements, it is important to have an understanding of the difference between airborne sound and impact sound. Airborne sound, by example, includes speech, musical instruments, speakers, and etc. Impact sound includes footfalls, vibrating equipment, and the moving of furniture. The sound performance of the floor and wall building elements must also consider the impact of any pipe penetrations or other surface elements such as air conditioning, as well as door openings on the bounding construction. In regulating sound performance, the NCC prescriptive solution utilises two measures. For airborne sound, the Weighted Sound Reduction Index, RW. For impact sound, the Weighted Normalised Sound Pressure Level, LNW. For airborne sound, the Weighted Sound Reduction Index, RW, is typically applied to both wall and floor elements, and the higher the number, the better the performance. Looking at a typical wall performance, at an RW of 25, normal speech can be heard easily. At 30, loud speech can be heard easily. At 35, loud speech can be heard, but not understood. At 40, loud speech can be heard, but only as a murmur. At 45, occupants must strain to hear loud speech. At 48, occupants can barely hear loud speech. At 50, loud speech cannot be heard at all. With airborne sound, a spectrum adaptation term, CTR, is often added to the RW measurement for better account of low frequency noise. CTR is usually a negative number, with a typical range of -1 to -15. The higher the RW plus CTR value for an element, the better the sound insulation performance, particularly at low frequencies. With impact sound, the Weighted Normalised Impact Sound Pressure Level, LNW, is usually applied to floor elements. The lower the number, the better the performance. It should be noted that previous versions of the NCC included for impact sound a spectrum adaptation term, CL, to better account for low frequency impact sounds such as footsteps. This has now been dropped from the NCC to bring the approach in line with international practices. LNW for floor systems is measured in very controlled conditions in a laboratory and is characterised by how much sound reaches the receiving room from a standard tapping machine, as shown here. Airborne and impact sound insulation performance is generally addressed through the separation of the elements, choice of linings used in the wall or floor ceiling system, thickness or mass of linings in the system, the depth of the wall or floor cavities, the use of cavity sound insulation products, the use of sound isolating mounts with lining materials, and through sealing of sound leakage points. For walls in Class 2 or 3 buildings, the minimum NCC sound insulation requirements are as follows. For walls between individual sole occupancy units, a single wall can be utilised with a wall rating greater than 50. For walls between bathrooms, toilets, laundries or kitchens, and SOU habitable rooms, a double or discontinuous wall is required with a rating greater than 50. A habitable room means a room used for normal domestic activities and includes bedrooms, living rooms, lounge rooms, kitchens, dining rooms, television rooms, etc. For walls between bathrooms, toilets, laundries or kitchens and SOU non-habitable rooms, a single wall is required with a rating greater than 50. A non-habitable room includes a bathroom, laundry, water closet, pantry, walk-in wardrobe, corridor, hallway, lobby, etc. Effectively spaces of a specialised nature that are occupied neither frequently nor for extended periods. For walls between plant rooms and lift shafts and SOU habitable rooms, again a double or discontinuous wall is required with a rating greater than 50. And for walls between stairs, public corridors, lobbies and the like, and SOU habitable rooms, again a single wall is required with a rating greater than 50. The NCC recommends discontinuous construction in specific areas to assist in minimising impact sound. The NCC Part F5, Clause F5.3, subsection C, states that discontinuous construction means a wall having a minimum 20mm cavity between two separate leaves, as illustrated here. For floor elements in Class 2 or 3 buildings, the minimum NCC sound insulation requirements for all different room scenarios is an airborne rating greater than 50 and an impact rating less than 62. Flanking noise also needs to be considered. Flanking noise refers to sound passing around rather than through wall or floor elements, thus causing sound to be heard unexpectedly in unwanted places. It should be noted that there are no minimum requirements addressing flanking noise in the NCC's DTS provisions. In terms of building services, if a duct, soil, waste or water supply pipe serves or passes through more than one dwelling, the duct or pipe must be separated from the rooms of the dwellings by construction with an RW plus CTR not less than 40 if it is adjacent to living areas in a dwelling, or 25 if it is adjacent to a kitchen or bathroom. This is also required where a duct or pipe is located within a wall or ceiling cavity. So in summary, the NCC provides minimum sound insulation ratings for airborne sound and impact sound. Airborne sound includes noise from speech, musical instruments, speakers, etc., and is typically applied to both walls and floors. The airborne rating needs to be greater than the NCC's minimum requirement of 50. Impact sound includes noise from footfalls, vibrating machinery, etc., and is typically just applied to floors. The impact rating needs to be less than 62. For further information on wood and wood products, visit woodsolutions.com.au, the website for wood.